Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn how to use SSH or secure shell in order to send encrypted traffic or sending files to a remote host encrypted. So the reason behind secure shell is because you don't want no threat actors to see what you're sending across the internet, right? If it's important files, maybe passwords, maybe business data, financial data, right? You don't want to send that clearly through, you don't want to send that in clear text through the internet. You want a way or a means to send everything over securely to the remote host. Probably you have um, documents that you're working on at home, right? You're working from home and you want to be able to send everything over to the computer, the remote host or the remote computer over at your job, right? You don't want to send it through email. That's dumb. Somebody can get in your intercept your emails and bam, they have your information. So you use secure shell as a means to send that information, and when the information is sent is encrypted, there is no one in the middle. If there's someone in the middle, they don't have a means of looking at your traffic because they have no way of encrypting it, right? So secure shell, there's two ways that you can implement or authenticate. Basically, two ways you can authenticate with a secure shell. You can authenticate yourself using a password, or you can authenticate yourself using keys, access to SSH keys. So first off, what we're gonna do, we go to my VM right here, and what we're gonna do, I was trying to do something later on, testing it, so we're gonna clear the screen. So the first thing you wanna do, you wanna get the IP address of the remote host. So I use IP add, and for the um to make this video to go more smoother, I'm just gonna try to remote access the local host, or just basically make a secure shell on the VM itself. So here you see 192.168.64.3, right? So the command here is you do SSH, right? Well, make sure before anything you want to make sure if SSH is installed. So what you do sudo service. Give me sometimes usage internet. Oh, SSH start, stop, reload, force, retry, restart, status. So what we'll do is just status, and bam, that's the status. See, open BSD secure shell server here is active and running. SSH.socket. So we see everything is here. So it's running right now. Failed timeout before authentication. So that's when I was trying to do it myself. I was trying to make sure everything was working before I started recording. So get out of that. So everything is installed. So what you will do is SSH. So since I'm going into it, the VM itself, so MacDR is the username at 192.168.64.64.3. Password, you put in the password. Boom, there you go. So right here, you can see you logged in as it right here. So like you can see right here, it says password. It says welcome to Ubuntu. System information. It tells you the system information loaded and everything. Update 0 apply. Last login is this. Boom. So you're in, right? So now, like I was saying, you see how the first time I logged in, it was based on a password, right? So now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do exit just to exit out of it. See, log out, connection. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do it when it comes using SSH keys. So as an SSH key is used to access a remote server through an SSH connection. The keys come in pairs, a public key and a private key. The public key is kept within the server, right? And the private key is with the user, with you or the client. The server authenticates the user by sending messages encrypted using the public key. And then once the server sends messages using the private key is the only key that can, that private key that was made with that public key is the only key that can unencrypt or decrypt, decrypt the message that is sent by the server, right? That's why you always have that private key with you. You never get that private key nowhere else. You never give nobody access to that private key, because that private key is specifically for this SSH session, right? Or for this client to make this SSH session to the remote host. So what we'll do is we'll do SSH dash keygen, right? Generate a key, right? It says enter file in which you save the key, right? So we'll save it like the way it is, right? It is. So right here, it's going to go to /home macdr dot, it's going dot SSH, which is a dot, anything with a dot something. It's a hidden file ID underscore RSA. Revet Shamir Adelman. That is the type of encryption they're using, right? or the RSA key pair, the way they generate it. So like, yes, override it. See, it's already exists already, so I'm gonna override it. It's a passphrase, no passphrase. I'm doing no passphrase, and there you go, right? So the next thing I want to do, I want to go into the host file. Well, we already know the host file, right? We already got the host file. So if we go to the CD, let's see. I want to say nano slash it. So right here, as you can see, I can see 127.0.1.1 right here. So Ubuntu, I can do Ubuntu VM, right? So, okay, so we can get out there. So usually when you come here, if you want to, say you want to remote into another computer, right? You'll come in here and you put the app IP address along with the name of the device alongside the IP address. So instead of putting the IP address down when trying to SSH in, only thing you have to do is just put the actual name or domain name, right? That goes along with the IP address in this case. So I'm gonna exit out of this, right? So now I'm gonna do I think it's SSH, excuse me, dash copy ID and do to Ubuntu VM. I copy that over, right? So the authenticity of the host can't be established. Sure, yes. Now it says if you are prompted now, now it is to install the new keys. So put in the password. Number of keys added 1. Now try logging into the machine with SSH. So now it's telling you, since now I took the keys, right? I generated the key. Now I took I copied the ID, right? I copied the key over to the actual Ubuntu VM, right? Which in this case is itself, right? But when you do, you'll basically copy the actual key, right? That the server has the public key. You copy the public key over to the server that you're going to use or have access to, and now only thing I would have to do is just SSH and do Ubuntu VM, and bam, I'm logged in. You see, it didn't generate I had to put no password in or nothing like that. Now when I access the server, only thing I have to do is do SSH, boom, the name of this actual server, the host that I'm going into. It authenticates by going to the server and saying, hey, I have this public key, or I have this private key along with the public key that's located on your server, right? Oh, you're good, because I know that in order for this public key to match up with this private key, that private key is the only one that can match with this public key that I have on my server. So when it pairs it up and says, "Oh, you're authenticated. This client is trusted, and I know this device," and bam, it gives us access. And then I can exit out, and then there you go. So that's how you use SSH to send. Well, that's how you install SSH. And like I said before, you can sit there and, matter of fact, we can do like this. I can go back into it again, and I can do a make directory. So I can say pwd where I'm at right now. So I can do, let's see, we'll make a touch. We will use touch. So touch is used to make a file, and we will do the file dot txt, right? So I do ls the file dot txt, right? And I can do nano the file dot txt, put hello world. And no, I used to be a coder back in the day, or a programmer in the back in the day, so do that. Control, boom, yes, boom, right? So now when I exit, I'm gonna exit out of it, right? I'm logged out of the SSH session, right? So now I'm gonna do pwd on this system. I'm gonna do ls, boom, look at that, the file.txt. And then if I do cat, it's concatenation to see what's in the file, hello world. So like I said, in this case, like I said, you can send stuff over. This text file was created over a secure connection over to the remote host, and I was able to do that, and I'm able to send more stuff. I can probably send files over. I can do this, I can do that. I can just go into the remote host, grab what I need, send it back over to where I am, and bam, I don't have to worry about nobody sitting there worrying about, oh, well, I don't have to sit there and worry about someone looking in my private information or my PII, personal identification. Thank you for listening, and if you find this to be helpful, share it. If you have any ideas on how to use SSH more efficiently, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.